The Bible, with its depths and shadows, never fails to shock and reveal. Its language often weaves together stories that speak on multiple levels, each one more profound than the last. Consider the Genesis account of Noah. After God's apocalyptic flood purges the world of its sins, Noah and his family, preserved by the ark they built under divine command, finally reach dry land. But instead of a joyous new beginning in the cleansed world, a troubling event unfolds. Noah curses his grandson Canaan, not due to Canaan's own deeds, but as a result of the transgressions committed by his father, Ham. At first, the story seems straightforward, almost simplistic. Yet as you delve deeper, unsettling questions begin to surface. What did Ham do to provoke his father? Why did Noah direct his curse at Canaan rather than at Ham himself? Could this narrative be hinting at something far darker and more concealed than it initially appears? Join us as we peel back the layers and expose the secrets hiding in plain sight. The story picks up after the floodwaters recede, with Noah and his family safe on solid ground and off the ark. Noah, now a man of the soil, turns to planting a vineyard and eventually making wine. He drank of the wine and became drunk and lay uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. Then Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and walked backward and covered the nakedness of their father. When Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan. A servant of servants shall he be to his brothers." The literal reading reveals Ham's mockery to his father's drunken and exposed state. But there is a twist. Noah doesn't direct his anger at Ham. Instead, he places the curse on Canaan, Ham's son. The story does not have a simple explanation. It's not merely about mockery, but a moment charged with profound significance. To unravel it, we must first understand what Canaan represents. As we delve deeper into Genesis, we find that God promises Abram's offspring the land of Canaan, named after the Canaanites who occupy it. They are the direct descendants of Ham's cursed son, who claimed this land for himself after the flood. God's promise to Abram is the realization of Noah's curse. By condemning Canaan to serve his brothers, Noah's prophecy unfolded through Shem, Noah's other son. It is Shem's descendants, the Israelites, who are led by Moses into the promised land, the very land once claimed by Canaan. But despite this insight into Noah's extensive family tree, the question still lingers. Why was Canaan subjected to a curse in the first place? To fully grasp the gravity of this story, we must unravel the true meaning behind Ham, exposing his father's nakedness. Traditionally, Moses is credited with writing Genesis and later codifying the Levitical law. This means that the language and themes introduced in Genesis often find their fuller meaning in later texts. The book of Leviticus unveils God's commands to the Israelites as they approach the land of Canaan, and as they reach their final destination, God forbids the Israelites from partaking in the detestable acts of the people currently living there. The extent of the Canaanites' vile practices is catalogued further in the book of Leviticus. Leading this extensive list is God's condemnation of those who approach a blood relative to uncover their nakedness. But this act signifies more than just physical exposure. The following verse delves deeper, revealing the full weight of what these words truly signify. "You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father, that is, the nakedness of your mother." Uncovering your father's nakedness refers to having incestuous relationship with your mother. This is the grave sin of Ham that Noah's story subtly alludes to, with Canaan being the ungodly byproduct of this act. Interpreting the story through Moses' words in Leviticus brings clarity to Noah's curse, revealing that Canaan is a brother to Shem and Japheth, sharing the same mother. Noah's curse on Canaan, therefore, serves as a prophetic act of foreshadowing, linking the sin of Ham to the future consequences embodied in his offspring, Canaan. The Canaanites, living out the legacy of their ancestor, perpetuate the same sins, inheriting of the moral failings rooted in their progenitor. And according to the law of Moses, the consequence for such a grievous sin is death. It also becomes evident that the story spans a much longer period. Noah's vineyard didn't spring up overnight. Cultivating it and producing wine would have taken years. The same goes for Ham's vile act and the birth of Canaan. The narrative compresses these unfolding events into a single, tightly packed account. By avoiding direct shaming of Noah, Moses skillfully exposes Ham's sin in a way that forces the reader to explore the incredible depths hidden in the text of the Bible. This layered storytelling reveals the complexity of the biblical narrative. Moses intricately crafts Noah's story, with its full meaning emerging only when you dig beneath the surface.